Hello, everybody. It's Joseph, J Took, Moonlit Moth Creations. I don't know if we'll have anybody come in. I know it is late and it is a weekend, so a lot of people, have other things they have going on and stuff. But I thought that maybe uh, we would just do a little bit of crochet, and I've been making all these granny squares, and I know it's different. I don't usually do lives where it's like this. This is more the setup for some of my stitch videos and things like that. But I just thought that I would do this. Hello, welcome in. Hey, Tennille, how are you? Um, but yeah, I thought, and this is Malabrigo Rios. For anybody doesn't know, that's what this yarn is. But hello, Ravina, welcome in, welcome. You guys, I don't know if any of my mods will be around to pop in, so we'll just pray on that front, right? uh, Welcome in, guys. If I miss anybody coming in, I'm very sorry. Um, I just would like to. Oops, I need to turn that around. Um, you would think after I've made enough granny squares, I would have it down to the exact science, right? And I wouldn't have anything that gave me trouble. But uh, stitching do be stitching. All right. And that probably looks really odd how I'm doing that. I don't know how everybody else does theirs. I'm just working these into a slip knot for the ring. I don't do the, I guess, standard magic ring. And you'll see I kind of use my finger to pick up my stitch there on the back. Well, hello, Edna. Welcome in, welcome. Let me turn my cake so that it comes out a little easier. I must be hitting a spot where it's... There we go. That's a little better. And that's 3. So, chain my 2. How's everybody's night? Anybody have any big weekend plans? Why is that not slipping right? It's giving me a hard time for some reason. I just did one in this color, and it went just fine. Now it's wanting to grab my hook in a weird way. Oops. Yeah, GT, no trolls allowed in here. Thanks. Yes, no trolls. So yeah, I'm just been working on these granny squares. I know it probably looks really awkward how I do it. I don't know. I promise I only stitch this way whenever I'm starting my my circle. But I've developed this little method, and it really works for me. Working on Crystal's latest bag. Oh, very nice. I hope to plant some flowers this weekend if it doesn't rain. Love my soaps. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them. Let's see. My weekend plan is to finish my cardigan. Well, that's actually what I'm doing. Well, not finishing a cardigan, but all of these. This is actually enough that this is the first of the front panels of the cardigan that I'm making with these granny squares. I laid it out, and this will be enough because I'm going to have a border at the bottom that's going to be front post, back post to make a little ribbing action, and that will give it the added length that it needs to make the difference. But these will be one of the front panels. Oh, hey, Michael. I was going to say, still got to late dinner. Yeah, you were live. You got to eat. That's important. Keep the energy up. sometimes I forget to eat, and I have oh, I always get it mixed up if it's hyper or hypoglycemia, but I have to eat every so often. Otherwise, like my stuff bottoms out and I get shaky. And sometimes I'm not good about remembering to do that. And then I'll be sitting there like, and I get the cold sweats, and I'm like, oh, how long's it been since I ate anything? But thanks for popping in. Oop, I forgot where I was at for a second. There are my stitches. So you guys can, I'll kind of explain what I'm doing here. I'm doing doubles. And my little, hey, Pamsky, how are you? Thanks for popping in. Here are my doubles. Only for when I start. I don't do my doubles like this normally in a regular row. But what I do is when I'm ready, I bring this around and pick that up there. And then I bring it over, push through, and then on the back side of my finger, I just bring the hook over and pull that up. And then I do that again and pull through and pick that up, like scrape it off my finger. It is a little different. And I didn't do it that way up until I started making all these granny squares. And after I made about the fourth one, I developed that little method, and I was like, you know what? That works really well for me. So that is what we're doing. And I'm just going to zip that middle ring, kind of pulled to for now. And then, of course, I just come back in over here. I gotta straighten that stitch up. It's kind of curving down there. And then I just pick up, pull through for my slip. Then I chain one. And then I turn my grannies. That was just how I learned to do it. And up until alive yesterday, I didn't know that you could do it a different way and not turn your grannies. I plan to finish one of Bod's shawls and continue working on another one and hope to go to the movies. You know, I've not been to the movies in a while. The last movie I saw in theaters, oh goodness, what was it? You know, I can't even remember. I know I saw the first Dune in theaters, I think. And I know I saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie in theaters, but I can't remember the time frame on which was first and which was second. I don't go to the theater often. I usually, if there's something that I really want to watch, I would. A Star Wars movie, I would be there right off because I've seen every Star Wars movie that's been released, really in my lifetime, in theaters. Usually opening day, first showtime that is available. That is just something that has always been what I've done. So, what's that? So yeah, I don't really know what my weekend is going to consist of. I would imagine granny squares, but what I really need to do, in addition to the grannies, I need to. I'll show you here in just a second. Give you a little sneak peek, I guess, before the videos come out for it. Let me get out of this corner, and then I will show y'all something. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. I want to see if. What is that about? I don't know that I've heard about that. Oh, well, I guess I'm out of the corner now, aren't I? Here I was just chugging right along on that little square. Okay. This is what I need to be working on. And I'm not as far along on it as I should be, but this is the panel that I am recording the tutorial on for those who want to join me on the poncho project. So I started recording that. So this weekend I really need to work on that. Imaginary friends. Oh, it's about imaginary friends. So is it like scary? Or is it like a fantasy sort of thing? So yeah, did you guys catch Dawn Aaron's dying tonight? Wasn't that yarn really pretty? Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to oh I forgot to send her an email. I bought those the minis, that set of minis that she had, and I have to email her for the billing stuff. But I'm really excited to get those. That will be my first Dawn Aaron yarn, and I'm super excited to get that. So that is going to be really, really cool. No, a comedy with lots of big name stars. Oh, well, I'll have to look into that. You know, I've been so out of the loop on, you know, pop culture and stuff the last couple years, really, that I've not even really opened and looked at my news app anymore or anything to see like anything upcoming, because it's just one of those things that was like, gosh, every time I did, I just saw something in a news article or something that even when you're just checking to see like entertainment news and stuff, you still end up seeing like the world news and all that. And yeah, you know, um, that just is not happiness inducing most of the time. So I've just sort of done my own little stuff in my own little corner of the world, and I feel like by and large that just you know, ignorance is bliss, I guess, in a way. um Ryan Reynolds is in If. Oh, well, see, that makes it even better there, right? I like Ryan Reynolds, not just because, you know, the stereotypical everybody's like, oh, he's so pretty. No, I just like, I just think he's pretty cool. um Goodness, there we go. uh well, I'm glad I didn't really seem to mess that up on camera, right? Doing all that. Um, oh wait, what's it say? So Steve Carell and Matt Damon. Oh, cool. Will the poncho tutorial be using a 3-weight or a 4-weight? I don't normally have any 3, so I would need to know in advance. Well, I am using in the poncho tutorial. It is technically classified. They classified as a 4. So yes, I guess technically it is a 4, but I very much I don't I don't know if that is a 4. I feel like mandala is very much usually a DK. Um, but the glory thing about it is the stitches that I'm doing and everything. It's very weight friendly. You could do you could do this project in any weight yarn that you wanted. Um, Look at that! I found thread. This is also where I do my sewing machine, guys. So there's safety pins and bits of thread and fabric that I use for some of my mystery box things that I do. There's spools of embroidery thread, which someone gave me a whole bunch of this. I don't really do embroidery, but they do come in handy for just general quick stitching stuff up. So I have those. Uh, and oh yeah, on the weights of the yarn, what I would advise is just if you're accustomed to using, say, 4 weights, and this is, even though it says it's a 4, it's very much, I've got my coffee. um, it it comes across as a 3, so you would just adjust it for size. So you would maybe take that into account, but you'll be able to see from your initial chain how wide across your project is going to be, and you'll just have to adjust from there. But all of the stitches are friendly to any weight yarn, really. Even if you wanted to do it in a super bulky, I guess, if you were, you know, so inspired. Yeah, I don't watch TV. I don't have social medias. YouTube is my friend. Well, and there's so many awesome people here, and I enjoy it too. I've made so many new friends and connections since I've been here on YouTube that it's just, it's really, I don't know, it's something I never expected, but I'm very glad that has come about. Um, let's see. It's a thin 4, more 3 DK. Yeah. I really like mandala. I do too. I love mandala. Hello, Ola Joe. Welcome, welcome. Um, so yeah, just don't worry too much about, use whatever yarn, you are comfortable stitching with, and that you want it to be. Um, the specific yarn for that I'm using is the mandala ombre in Serene. Um, so people will be, free to use that for it if they would like. It will be a few weeks before those videos start rolling out, though, because I do want to finish the project, because the one that I'm making in the videos is the test run. So it is quite the adventure, and we're putting it together, and I'm doing the stitches, as they pop into my head. Nothing too complex. I already have them written out because I did the first panel already. But I do want to have the project finished before I put videos out. That way the thumbnail can show, what the finished item looks like, so that people know whether they want to participate along or not. That would be, I think, handy to do. So there's that. And I had a pretty good day today. Hope everybody else did too. I accomplished most of my business, early in the day, got finished up, came back home. I was going to make some more granny squares. I did get a couple made today. So far, I've made a total of 10. This is number 11 for the cardigan. And I haven't made all those today. I made, a good number of those. I made 6.5 of those last night. So I've not made as many today. But things kept popping up, and I kept having to run to town for various things. I had to run to the pharmacy for my mother, and of course they didn't have her inhaler in like they were supposed to. They've told her twice now that it would be in, and it wasn't, and so it'll be Monday before that is able to be picked up. So that was a delightful thing. It didn't irritate me or anything. We really need to switch pharmacies. That pharmacy is just not what it do. Um, and everything you need on YouTube, it's kind of like the old Yahoo chat rooms. Wow, that's a long time ago. I never really did too many Yahoo chat rooms, but I definitely did like the MSN. What was it? That was the MSN Messenger, the Microsoft Chat things. And back in the day with my gaming, I used to do TeamSpeak. I know there are still some people, I think, that use TeamSpeak servers, but goodness, I have not used or seen that in a long time. Fuzzy Not from the Vid, someone put out recently. This is something I found on my own. So frustrated, and Etsy doesn't make it easy. I must have missed something there. I've been loving the lightweight yarns lately for everything. Getting into the summer spirit here in Florida. Yeah, my go-to is typically DKs. Even though this this Malabrigo Rios is classified as a 4. I just don't get it. I feel like it's very much, it comes across to me as a DK. I mean, it might be a 4, but it's a really, really light 4 to me. So I think that's probably part of why I like it so much. AOL, yeah, I did the AOL too. Oh, I see, Amber. I see. Been doing super fines and fines. Yeah, and I've been thinking about that recently, like just mainly because, man, I see so many beautiful, beautiful yarns. Like I go to my local yarn shop, and she has so many like sport weight, fingering, sock weights, things like that, that are hand dyed that she does, and they are just so pretty. And she makes a lot of those because she is a knitter. She knits. She does know how to crochet, but she's only known how to crochet for like a year, I believe Patty said. So, most of the all of the sample items that she's worked up to show yarns in her shop, they are all knit garments and things. But she has a huge selection of those super fine yarns, and they're just so pretty. And you get so much more. Now, granted, I know that, it's a finer yarn. You know, there's more because it takes more to equal up to the same size, unless you do like really, really lacy, um, airy sorts of garments. So, that's a thing. But man, I've really been thinking about it, and I'm buying up well, I'm going to start buying mini hanks, um, because I'm working on beginning like I'm calling it an art installation, but that really sounds more fancy than what it is. I'm basically taking different colored minis, and I'm hanging them on dowel rods and attaching them to little um, holders that I've put on the wall. So it makes like rows of minis. And right now I've just started, so I have 5 minis hanging on a dowel rod on the wall behind my computer chair, where I usually do lives and stuff like that. Well, I say that. Well, I do lives when I do a panel situation. I'll put it that way. Um, uh, so it's a start. It'll get bigger, and I'd like to have it like go down the whole wall. Can you do a soap in lavender and chamomile? If so, how much for some? Yeah, I can definitely do that. Actually, what I would probably do for that, because I would I would try to avoid having the actual like bits of the flour in the soap, because sometimes, in the spawnification process, those can get scratchy, especially leaves and stuff. Like if it's something like that, it can become kind of sharp. And yeah, you can powder it up and turn it into like a sort of powder. But what I could do with that is do more of like a lavender and chamomile, steep it in my water that I use in the process. So it would be like a tea soap, but it was made with those two things. Uh, Having to get off the internet to use the phone. Yes. Oh my goodness. I remember my mom yelling like, Joseph, I need to use the phone. Those are the days. Let's see. Oh, and on the price for that, um, something like that where I'm using those ingredients and making it a tea soap. That I've been trying to keep my prices at $5 a bar, but guys, it's just it's getting tough on doing that. Um, the prices for my ingredients and my materials has just went absolutely bananas. Like the price of oils and stuff has just shot through the roof. I mean, well, I guess the price of everything really has, but um, so that's something I may have to be adjusting, and I may. Uh, I really hate to do it, but I may end up having to bring it to like 6 a bar, which is still, I guess, whenever I compare it to like industry standards or like whatever, that's still reasonable. I've seen a lot of Etsy people and stuff doing like 7 something a bar. I've even seen some people like 9 or 10, and oh my goodness, I would feel so. I couldn't. I couldn't. Before I'd have to charge somebody that much, I just wouldn't sell it anymore. I would feel so bad. But so yeah, but probably 6 a bar on that. But all of my ingredients are. What am I doing right there? What sort of stitch was I gonna try to make that? That was just supposed to be a slip. I don't know what I was doing. Um, so yeah, probably 6 a bar on that. But my bars are really big. They're good, chunky, um, square, big, thick, healthy bars. You like that yarn, this purple. This is Malabrigo Rios in the colorway is Purpuras. It is very, very pretty. Here I've got, this is Malabrigo Rios in Wales Road. This one is the same yarn in Hojas or Hojas. I'm not sure the pronunciation, but it is Spanish for leaves. And I think this one is very pretty. This is the Purpuras worked into a 5-round solid granny. And then this is the colorway Va. It's VAA. This one is Candombe. And then that's Wales Road again. This one is Paris Night. And it is just like a very a mingled navy color. I enjoy that one. This one is Pines. Those of you who've left to sleep, good night. I know you're probably already gone. Chatter is a fair price for everyone. It'd be like $7.99 for homemade. So, yeah, and I don't know. I felt so bad raising my prices, but it's really got to a point where I'm kind of strangling myself on that, and I try to be honest and I try to be fair without being, price gougy, and I really should probably raise it more, but baby steps, guys. I have to do it in a way where I can still feel good about myself and what I'm, selling and providing. Oh wait, Pepsi. I will give you whatever you need for them, as I understand it's expensive for you to do the project. So if it is 6, I'll pay you 6, and if so, I would like 3. And I'll send you that and the shipping. Okay. Pamsky, could you? My email address is in my about on my page, and it's in all of my videos. I have not put it yet in the description box on this live, but I will. So if you could just email me and put that order in there, and I can put you on the list. I am currently waiting. I have to wait. They delayed my shipment of my lie, and it's not going to be here till Monday, so that the tracking says. So I was wanting to make some soap this weekend and get caught up, but I guess I can't do that because they decided to just keep my lie somewhere in Michigan for 2 days. I don't know why. But yeah, so just email me with that and I will get you added to the list, and I will get invoices out to you as soon as I make it. I don't like to invoice until I have the soaps made, just in case something comes up and a batch doesn't turn out. I don't ever really have one not turn out, but crazy things have happened. So in Spanish, the J's sound like H's. Okay, so it would be like hojas. Gorgeous colors. Hello, hello. Good evening. All from Chronic. Hello, Chronic. Beautiful colors for the squares. Thank you. I'm so excited about them. I think they work so well together. Just and it's going to be such a fun cardigan. And it's my first cardigan that I'll be making. Not my first wearable. I did make a top for my mother, but this will be the first cardigan that I'm doing. And it's not going to have buttons. I don't want it to be buttoned. So I guess it's going to be like a hybrid Quaker style, where no buttons, but it will be an open front. So it's going to be that. And of course, I could change my mind on the buttons, but as of right now, that's the style I have in my head that I want. I've never seen her use that type of yarn. This is actually my favorite yarn. Malabrigo Rios is, but look, see, well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but my fingers here are kind of stained with a transfer a little bit. And that is from this one. It's from the Candombe. And I think it's just because the really rich blue there. And also the Paris Night gave a little bit of transfer onto my fingertips. Not anything serious or too bad, but it is just, that first washing, you would have a little bleed, but I guess that is pretty standard with the hand dyeds. You can't operate at a loss either, so it's a tough decision. It is. It really is. 6 is inexpensive. You must also pay yourself for your time. I know, guys. I know. It's just, it's tough for me. And also, like, I'm not down on myself or anything. Like, I know that my time is worth something, but at the same time, I know everybody's time is worth something. And I know that things in the world are um, sometimes tough. And, the last few years, everything, inflation is high and stuff, and money's been tight for people. So I just feel bad on making something too expensive. That's really why I don't sell any of my crochet projects. I've had so many people ask me, if I would be willing to sell one of the bags that I've made, or if I'm selling my shawls that I've done. And I just don't. I've held on to them because, I don't know. I just, I don't know. Maybe one day I will get there, but will do, sweetheart. No problem. Thank you. You're so definitely worth $6. It's fantastic. Thank you, Madison. That top for your mother is why I initially followed you. Thank you. And I will probably be making more tops and stuff moving forward, because that's definitely more my speed of make. I'm not an Afghan or a blanket maker by any stretch of the imagination. I don't enjoy making those big projects. In fact, the poncho that I'm doing is really pushing my limits, but it helps that my the stitches and stuff are quite varied, and they change, row to row, and so it feels a little bit better doing that. Um, and it was an item requested by my partner, so it makes it that much simpler. But it's definitely not huge projects like that, like with decent amount of space and things that use, like 1,800 yards. Those kind of things are just not typically my speed. So bags and little tops and things like that will definitely be something that you will see more of from me than you see those big projects. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. I will have many more items similar to that coming up. I actually, I think I'm going to work on designing larger oversized beanies, like what I would consider like super slouches. That will be for, because I have a number of friends who have a lot of hair, or they have braids or dreads, things like that, and they, could really benefit from that because they have a hard time finding those beanies that would be made in a way that stay on their head and maybe can cover or contain their hair and cover their ears. So I have that on my list of things that I'll be working on as well. Beekman 1802 is just a goat's milk palm-sized bar, and they are 22 for 3. Holy smokes! Yeah, no, my bars are bigger bars. I do not make tiny bars. I don't have one sitting around. I don't keep them in the den, or I would show. But I have shown them in videos previous, and you can see my soaps are really good size. Can you get soap molds or use candy molds? Oh yeah, absolutely. For molds, you can use any, really any, if it is food and heat safe. So the silicone molds, like you can buy, like you can even do it in like the silicone muffin tins. If you want to make like little muffin cake soaps, you can totally use that. You can use in the video I have where I showed the soap making process, the mold that I poured the soap into is actually like a bread loaf pan that is silicone. So yeah, you can absolutely, so long as it can withstand the heat, because it is hot. So you'll want something that can withstand up to like, I mean, most things that are heat safe are safe up to like 400 and something degrees. You don't have to worry about your soap getting that hot. If your soap gets that hot, you've done something quite very, very wrong. And it should never be that hot. The hottest your soap should really get is like 160, 170, maybe get close to 200. So you'd be pretty good with any of those kind of things. You don't have to treat them or line them or anything like that. The soap will just turn right loose from them when it sets and hardens. I've never experienced that with Malabrigo. I have those same colors. Yeah, and I don't know with the transfer. I don't know. It's not real bad. Like I said, it's just like a light transfer that I've noticed. But I also lotion my hands quite a bit, so it could really be my own fault. Like if my skin was, like the lotion wasn't fully soaked in or something, and maybe like that caused it a little more. Well, you have to soak the sweater in vinegar to stop the bleed. I could do that. I hadn't really given it that much thought, but that's definitely good advice there. That's why I never sold my soaps. Could not make my money back. Just make it for myself. Yeah, and which I can't say that I haven't made money on it. I have. It's not. I'm not making like oodles by any means, because that's not what I want. I don't. I'm not depending on that. It's just like a hobby on the side that the people on here have supported me. I've sold soaps, at like fairs and festivals, things like that before. And I have a few people that request soap from me, especially like some family members and some friends and stuff that do pay me, to make their soaps. But it's not something that has been like a business. I don't have a shop somewhere. I don't have an Etsy presence, that kind of thing. So yeah, Joseph just got here. Well, welcome. You've probably been here a minute. I think I'm pretty behind in the chat. I tried, but I knew I wasn't going to make profit. I also tried chapsticks too. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know anybody that's done chapsticks. Those squares are very pretty. Thank you. I hate blankets too. I have to make my mother-in-law one, and I'm stalling. I don't blame you, honestly. Thinking of making a blanket just kind of makes me feel a little dizzy. Would it be necessary to soak blue colorway squares by themselves so they don't bleed when Cardi is washed first time? It's possible. Yeah. I could definitely do that, and that may be something that I do before I assemble everything. Is I could do a little soak and rinse on these, and maybe block the squares anyway. I don't think I'd really have to block the grannies, but it wouldn't hurt anything to do that. Yes, cover the ears. On the super slouchies, yeah, just so that the beanie can come down like on the side of their head enough to cover their ears, if that's what you're asking. Sorry if I misunderstood. Heart chapstick because I had an allergic reaction to the store-bought ones. I can't use chapstick. It's very much a sensory thing for me, and just the feel of having it on my lips, just it makes me crazy. I cannot do it. Even whenever I have like chapped lips or something, oh man, if I have to put something on my lips, it just I'd almost just rather have the chapped lips. I don't know, I'm weird, I guess, but so yeah, that is the thing. I'm trying to get out of this corner. I don't know why I feel like I have to focus more in the corners, which is odd, but whatevs. Making a lap gan with your rice stitch with Bernat Pop just in time for 80 degrees today. Yeah. Oh, perfect timing, right? Yeah. I always want to make blankets in the summertime heat. But I feel that I was burning up making that first panel of the poncho project, and I know I'm going to be hot making this one, even though I make them inside and the air conditioner's on. It's still just something about making those big, drapey, heavy things when it's hot outside. Make a lot of candy and have lots of molds. We'll check. Yeah, definitely just check it. Minus craft table. I have to be careful myself. EOS is. Oh goodness. I've never had anything like that break me out. The only I've had colognes really irritate my skin. I've had deodorants give me chemical burns, actually. So I have to be very, very careful with those. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. We hit 100 today. We're living in Arizona. My goodness, that is That is too hot for me. I cannot do that. But I really want to make one once AC goes on. It won't feel good. Didn't know we hit 100 today. Oh, wow. International Fiber Festival. Never been myself. Popped up as a suggested event on Facebook. I think that would be really fun. I've been lurking because my hook is busy moving. That's absolutely fine. I did this so that my hook could be busy moving, but I can't. It's hard to scroll the chat and do my stitches at the same time. But I have made this much of this granny while I'm talking here, so I feel like that's something, right? I'm getting there. Hello from Fairbanks. Well, hello. Stopping in to say hello from the Panhandle of Porto. Well, thank you. Oh, it's Dawn Yarndall. Hello. I bought a neck fan to blow my face, making Afghan 2. I'm allergic to yellow 4, 5, 6 dyes, food, or anything. Oh, my. Crochet living. Hi, my other Dawn Yarndall. We were finally in the 90s here in Central Texas and very wet. And that is... we're not there yet here. We've hit right at 80 a few times, low 80s, I think, a day or two so far. But it's been kind of overcast and rainy here the last week or so, so it's not gotten real warm. So I guess I'm thankful for that, but not so thankful for the nonstop drizzle and just rain that won't let anything dry out enough to work outside. There's so much that needs to be done. Flowers need to be planted. We were able to pay a local gentleman who comes around and looking for little odd jobs and stuff. We were able to pay him earlier in the week to weed all the flower beds for us. And so he did that. They look really nice. So there's that. It's just when we're able to actually get out there and do some of the yard work, will be a blessing. Let's see. Where am I at here in chat? I have a neck fan too. Neck fan, my lights to focus on stitching. Fog this morning, but 87% humidity, yucky, then 88 high. We are awfully dry where I am. Tie-dye and dawn. I don't miss the Midwest. Arnold, thank you. Got the beautiful cotton yarns and hooks today. I feel a shawl brewing. I'm going to be with you and I'm going to talk, but what I'm going to do, because I'm going to move the camera, is I think I'm going to put this up so that you do not get dizzy while I am moving. And we are going to move you guys. I think you can still hear me. I just don't want anybody to get motion sick. Because, nobody enjoys being motion sick, right? Sorry, I can't see your chat. I am coming back, but we're leaving that table and we're going to go into the living room for a chat. Moving from the den, which for all intents and purposes is the second living room. Luckily, I left my tripod set up. If I can turn this, we'll be doing good. Goodness. Sorry if that was loud. I don't know how loud that was. Well, I'm not over there. Let me change that. Yay. Okay. Sorry, I am back. That was something. Yes, if you are here and you would like to drop your link in the chat so people can come and show you some love and all the good things, do feel free to type Moth. I'm going to turn on the overhead light to maybe try to help a little bit more. Well, I'm not used to my camera being... Oh, because it's mirrored. I was very confused for a second. I'm like, what in the world? So now I can see well, I can't see you guys, but I feel like I can see you now, and I'm not just staring at my hands crocheting. Oh, so yeah, it has been another interesting day. I had to take a little, like an hour nap earlier, and I am not a nap taker. I don't know what hit me that made me need a nap. I was sitting there and I was stitching, and I was listening to a live. I don't even remember whose live it was. I think it may have been Froggy and Maureen. Froggy and Maureen, their Friday live. And I was listening to it, and I was stitching, and next thing I knew, I was opening my eyes, and I had missed a whole segment of conversation. I dozed off stitching, and I felt so worn out and exhausted, and I just had to lay down. So I don't know why that was. That's not typical for me. I guess I didn't sleep real great last night, but who knows. Night all, finished week 2 of Juan's Cal, so off to find another whip to work on. Awesome. You have a good night, Grammy. Thank you for coming in, joining me for my little granny square stitching, and now just a little talk here, you know. So yeah. Trying to think, there was something else that was on my mind while I was walking through the house, other than the fact that I really need to clean up the dining room table, because I have all kinds of shipping stuff set out there on it. And so that's something. And we've still got some lumber sitting over there because we built a closet on the one side of the dining room that goes across the end of the room. That I'm using that as my clothing storage and things like that, because my bedroom no longer has a walk-in closet of its own, because that was converted into a bathroom. So I was just using one of those open air closets, you know, where like the on the wall, like you have the thing and you got the rods that run across and all the stuff. So just open air, but it took up a good bit of real estate in the room. So we built the closet going across there, but we've still yet to build because it doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling, because we have 15-foot original vaulted ceilings in here. So it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. So there's a space between the two, and we have the cap boards and things to finish that out and put a cap on the wall that we bit. But we've not done that yet. We've had so many projects going on, not just here in my house, but also next door. Crystal's voice relaxes me, and I get really sleepy listening to her. I could see that. Yeah, it's very soothing. Sorry, I was trying to scroll because I felt like I was missing stuffs. Oh, the other lovely sweeties. Oh, hello, Maureen. I fell asleep watching the live and crocheting mid-stitch. I woke up about an hour later and finished the stitch. That's what I did. I woke up and I was like mid-stitch. I was in the middle of a double. So I just finished that stitch out and I started to do the next one. And I'm like, I have to lay down for a minute. So I went and I laid down. And then, you know that thing of like when you lay down and you feel like you really need a nap, but then you go lay down and then it takes forever to actually fall asleep. And then about the time you get good and dozed off, like your phone goes off or something. So that's why I don't usually nap, because it's always sorry, because my camera's on this side, so I'm scrolling on this side and you can see my finger. Ola Joe, how have you been? Oh goodness, I am just really wishing I had my lie. It throws my whole weekend schedule off, because that was my plan. I was going to film some more rows of the poncho project, and I was going to get completely caught up on my soaps, because I have, without looking at my list, I don't have my list right here, I think I have 6 or 7 people that have ordered some stuff that I just don't have and I have to make, but I cannot make those soaps until my lie comes in, and the shipping company is really throwing everything into a disaster because I was supposed to have my fly the end of this week, and now it's delayed somewhere in shipping, and they're saying Monday now. I was hoping initially that it would get here tomorrow. Well, Saturday. So be here Saturday, so that I could at least like make some soaps like Saturday evening, maybe do a couple batches on Sunday or something, and get kind of ahead of the curve there. But now I guess I can't. Crocheting off and on all after. Been in meetings and doing well, staying busy. Thank you. Busy, busy. All of us here, we just stay so busy, and it's just, I don't know where we find the time to do all the things that we do and to spread the love and kindness and support that we do. And it's just yet one more thing that is just so magical that everybody is able to accomplish and get done. So, I don't know. Oh, hello, Zach. Hello, hello. If you've been in here for a while and I missed you, I'm sorry. I just now saw the chat jumping and stuff. And when it's on my phone and it's little and it's just a box on the side of the screen, I can only see a couple things at a time. So I really don't. Lives, I guess, on my phone are fine. The camera is definitely better here on my phone than the one I have on my computer. Um, so even in low light, this is much better than the one in the room at the computer desk. So I need to upgrade that. It's on my list. I'll get there. I'll get there. It works for now. There's nothing wrong with it, other than it's just not quite as high of a quality stream. But that's okay. I'm able to get the point across, and everybody can hear me and they can see me. So I think that's a win. Shopping for you yet? I'm sorry. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. So I guess this weekend, instead of soaps, I'll be making more granny squares because I think I have to make a total of, let's see, it's going to be 20 for the front, and then 20, I think it's going to be 25 on the back, because I think I want it to be one more granny wide on the back, so that it doesn't stretch too much, because I don't want it to pull the squares apart, in my shoulder area. So I want it to lay right. So I think I'm going to have to do an extra row of grannies like in the middle, which is good, and that helps work for the collar anyway, because the front is always going to hang open, no buttons. So it's very much going to be that Quaker style, buttonless. So I think that'll work. So I need 10 more for the front, which I'm working on one, so 9 more once I finish that one. And then I have to do 25 for the back, and then the sleeves, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so probably 20, I don't know, 30 or 40 on the sleeves. I'll have to figure out the math. So I have a lot of grannies to make. That was way too long to decide that I needed to make a whole lot of grannies. But it'll be okay. What's the size of the squares? I don't know measurement on the squares. I've not measured them. But they are 5 round grannies, and they are double crochets, solids. So whatever measurement, like I said, I've not measured that. So they are stunning squares. Thank you. I'm new. My friend Dawn Yarndall recommended you. We all love Dawn. I super love Dawn. Jerry too. I love all you guys. You're all great. But Dawn and Jerry have been so incredible. So many people here have been above and beyond what you think or what you would expect, and it just blows my mind every single day. The amount of messages I get, the people who, are helping me and guiding me, and, the people who've gifted things. It's just, I'm so thankful and so humbled, and I just hope that I can continue to live up to the faith that people are putting in me. So yeah, Dawn and Jerry, you are both absolutely incredible. I haven't seen Jerry in here, but I know he's not too far from Dawn, wherever Dawn is there. So just let him know. I know I've told you guys before, but you guys have just really been super, super awesome. There's some of your soaps, but I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. Oh, so you're not in lower 48. Um, that would just really depend on what the shipping would be. You can feel free to email me, with the shipping address. I can put it into my program because I do not pay standard rates, like, going to the post office or whatever. So I can put it into my thing and I can see, estimate on what shipping would be. Because I know I'm pretty good at gauging. I know how many bars of my soap weigh roughly what, just rough figuring. So I could put in an average shipment of something and see what that would run to Alaska. So, and then I would be able to let you know, um, what we'd be looking at there. And if it was something that you were comfortable with paying, and it would be just the flat shipping, whatever I was charged would be what I would bill for on the shipping. So that's always an option. You can email me that information. I can plug it in, see where we're at, let you know. That can always be something. We can work it out if it was really something that you wanted. I just usually say lower 48 only, just to avoid any of that. But I'm willing to work with people if they're good with paying that increased bit of shipping. I don't even know how much increase it is to go to Alaska, but thank you for the rice stitch tutorial. I love it. The pattern almost looks woven. It really does. I really like the rice stitch. If you guys watch my stuff coming up, especially stuff in a few weeks from now, you guys will be seeing something in rice stitch pattern. I have a plan using that. So that's kind of one of the little reasons I did the little tutorial, an early tutorial on how to work rice stitch. Said hi to Dawn twice. Well, I'm sure she don't mind. It's always good to say hi to Dawn a couple times. you know. Um, let's see. Scrolling. Sorry, I'm behind again. I get sidetracked explaining things or talking about stuff. They're so sweet. They are incredible. They really are. I'm happy to help. You're awesome, Dawn. Thank you. Um, they, Zach, they really do. They are just some of the nicest people. Everybody I've met here has been so nice. Like, it's so supportive. And just, you know, the comments and the likes and the shout outs and the emails that I receive and the messages to Facebook and the group that I get. And it's just everybody all day, every day being the most incredible group of people that you could ever hope or ask to be a part of. And it's awesome. I just can't get over it. And I talk about it to everybody. Like, it's not just on here. I'm talking about it. Like, I talk to my family about it and, sing the praises and let everybody know all the kind words and all the heartfelt stuff. I talk to, like, members of Rotary about it. And, we do a thing at Rotary where every week, because we meet every week, we do a thing where our Sergeant at Arms goes around and they collect money. They're like donations. It all goes to like foundation and our community projects that we do. But they go around and they'll be like, does anybody have a happy dollar? Does anybody have a sad dollar? A guilty conscious dollar? Publications. So like if you were in the newspaper or a magazine, or if you were on TV, you give $1 for each of those things. If you had a birthday or an anniversary or whatever excuse it is to give $1 into the little collection of money for the foundation and our projects that we do. But I give the last few weeks of Rotary, since I've really been here and gotten to know everybody, that has been my happy dollar, is just stuff about this community and how amazing it's been. So I give $1 for the kindness and the friends that I've made, or things that I've learned, various stuff like that. And it's all just in good fun. But so I talk about you guys. Oh, he is here. Hello, Jerry. Hello. Just scrolled and saw that. Sunita, hello. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Moonrose, I'm glad you're here. Michael, you're back. Let's see. Scrolling. Dawn and Jerry are saving me money on a webcam. They had a spare one. I saw that, Zach. That was very nice, and I'm very happy for you. That's really great. I'm. Uh, oh, I didn't know you were in Canada. I thought you were here in the States. See, I didn't even. I guess I'd missed that a little bit, but that that's really cool. There's so many people on here from Canada, and so many people I talk to on a regular basis, and they find out they're in Canada. There must be like, because I know the population overall of Canada is much smaller than the U.S., so it's just it seems like the amount of talented, crafty people per capita, especially in the fiber arts and stuff. It just really, it seems like very craft heavy there, and that's so awesome. I think if there was one country that I would move from here, move to, would probably be Canada, either Canada or Japan. Those would be my my choices. Not that I want to. I hate moving, even if it's just do a new house. I would think moving a whole country would just be too much for me, but I'd love to buy some of your soaps on your Etsy. I am not, Elizabeth. So if you are interested in my soaps, I don't know if Dawn or anybody has posted because they're all really good about that. If you are interested in soaps, shoot me an email, and I can go over some soap options. Or if you have soaps in mind, like that you like, say, goat's milk, or you're looking for a Castile soap that's like pure olive oil, or you wanting lavender, or you like whatever it is. Like if you have a rough idea of what you're looking for, just shoot me an email. It's in my about me section on my page, or it's moonlitmothbeauty@outlook.com, and you can just shoot me an email over there, and I can work with you on that, get you added to the list if you would like to do the ordering. But no, I do not do Etsy. The Etsy fees that they charge are just completely unfair to any seller, and I can't support Etsy because of that. Yeah, stitching. It's just been the craziest, most awesome experience. Pirate Ship is excellent. That's who I use. um, it's such a huge discount. It is incredible. I can say if I took a 2-pound shipment to the post office, it depending on where it's going, but say if I have to pay $13 or $14 to ship that box, standard ground, so slow mail, if I ship it through the post office direct, say it'd be $13-14, but if I go through Pirate Ship, I'm paying like 6 or 7, so it's like literally half the price. And I typically my shipping, I usually do a flat 10 up to a certain weight, because I buy boxes, I do the packing materials, I always do a handwritten card, I include sometimes other little gifts in there, so it's kind of just like the extra couple dollars to help with the handling and the processing and all the stuff that goes into it. But yeah, half the price on Pirate Ship to ship. If if I'm going to spend $13 or $14 at the post office, I could just spend $12 or $13 for UPS to ship it, and they'll come to my door and pick it up, and I don't have to take it anywhere. So I could spend the same if I wanted to do that, but it's crazy the discount that you get. Let's see, looking in chat, looking, scrolling. Wish I could stay longer. Night, all good night, fuzzy butt. That name makes me giggle. I'm just a big kid, honestly. Let's see. Don Yondell and Jerry are great people. They really are. Yes. Sunita is a great person too. I love watching her. She's so cute in how she talks about things and how she gets so excited about yarn, especially like Dawn Aaron yarn. That night that she was showing her yarns in that video, and she was hugging that basket of the yarn. it was adorable. She looked like a little amigurumi sitting there, like hugging that basket, and I couldn't get over it. I thought that was adorable. We're all a mess here. We really are. I'm nervous when I'm starting a blanket soon. Ooh, blankets. I wish you well on that blanket journey, Zach. I do. I wish I could. I wish I liked making blankets more because they're so handy, and everybody needs a good blanket. So I mean, it's just I'd almost rather take a whooping. I really would. I don't know. It's just. Let's see. I've been crocheting for 50 years, and I'm still learning new things thanks to YouTube. The abundance of information is crazy. It is, Gulf Coast Granny. It is. I learn so many things each day that goes by, and I have learned so quickly. And I wouldn't have done that. I would not have. I would not be where I'm at, skill wise and knowledge wise in crochet and yarn, if it weren't for this community and everything I see here on a daily basis. And it's just always something new, always something interesting, and the way that people present it and give that out is just so incredible. I love it. It's good times, the best of times. Zach, you're going to do great. He is going to do great. Let's see. I see you all. I try to keep up with the chat the best I can. Yeah, same, Dawn. Same. Hope you, Mr. Sailor, are doing well. Yes. Pass our love on to Mr. Sailor. Elizabeth won't be perfect, that's for sure. You know, nothing's perfect, Zach. And you know, I'm kind of a perfectionist like that on my work, and I've got to a point where I realize that not every one of my stitches is going to be perfectly uniform to the rest of the stitches in the row. And I know that, it's not going to be perfect, and I'm going to, like, where I weave in my ends, I'm going to be able to see that in, like, worked through the lines. Like, and nobody's going to see those little imperfections, but since when you're the maker of it, you see it because you know it's there. Nobody out there is looking for this. And that was something that I've had to kind of learn and teach myself, is like, it's going to be okay. And you know what? If it's extra not perfect, you can do like Juan says, and just, it's for the house. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's for the house. I was I don't remember what it was. I was talking. I think it was with my mom the other day, and there was something that come up, and it was like it wasn't working out just right, or something didn't measure out just quite right. And I caught myself. I said that. I was like, you know what, Mom? It's fine. It's for the house. And she just looked at me like, what? I'm like, it's a YouTube thing. Michael, Mr. Sailor took a nap and just got up when Joseph came on. I'm tired. I'm still watching movies and crocheting. Gotta crochet. Right? I'm not crocheting right now, but I feel like I should have brought my granny square with me, but I just wanted to focus on you guys and chat with you all. What movie are you watching, Joe? Michael, you look good today. How are you feeling? He did. He looked like he felt better today. I don't know if he was, if he was or wasn't, but the live was really good. I enjoyed the lives. I always enjoy everybody's lives. Everybody does such an amazing job. And I'm so excited for Michael to get his watch hours. And I know he's got to be close with all these lives they've been doing. I mean, he's got to be just right there. Like, I have rolled over the 3K, but not in the analytics part, because that runs 5 days behind. So I'm not technically in the system as being over the 3K, but I'm well over 3K now. And I'm hoping, like, I would be excited to keep it rolling and move quickly, to the 4K, just because I like seeing the numbers. I'm always that way. I wish if YouTube gave little lapel pins, because I collect lapel pins, and if I'm in any organization and there's like an achievement pin, like a lapel pin, you can bet I am going to fight and struggle to get that pin. Like that's one of my favorite parts about Rotary, aside from all the good work we do. It's just one of the fun little side things. We have pins for like everything. So like I have a whole little banner of Rotary pins, and there's so many more left for me to get. Like so, if YouTube had little achievement lapel pins, it's so cheesy and so silly. Like oh my goodness, that would be like the best perk ever. But I know apparently because it happened to Mishi, if you get your 3K and your 4K too close together, like before I guess it fully finishes processing in there, it like I guess you can get kicked over into like a timeout until they verify and authenticate stuff. And I don't know what all that entails and what that means, but I was told that that happened to Mishi, and so I really don't want that to happen to myself or to Michael. As excited as I would be for either, like both of us to make these like landmark steps in YouTube, right? Like I don't want either of us to have what happened to Mishi happen because that's so silly to have that be a thing. But I heard that that happened to her, and I've not been able to talk to Mishi and know like exactly the extent of how like what that meant, how long it was, whatever. But it kind of scared me a little bit, and so each day that I see my watch hours like going, you know, um, and I'm like, oh, I was like, please let the one process and be good, and then the next one can come. Like, and I'm not pushing for it. I don't like. I never started this for like to make money on it at all in any way. It is very much about these bonds that I'm making and the things that I can share and learn and stuff. But it's just that thing that I've just had to look at it and know that things are coming, and it means a lot that everybody is helping me get there and supporting me and pushing me into that and my channel into that, and we are taking that journey together. It means a lot, but I get scared because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be in like timeout. Does that mean like I can't interact with my friends on here for like the days it takes for them to sort all that out on the back end? I would be that would be depressing if it locked me from like talking to you guys. That would be awful. um Sorry, I'm probably way behind in chat. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. Okay. Well, the more you know. Well, okay, so I click it and it puts it on the screen. Oh, cool. Okay. Yes. That is my email. Thank you very much, Dawn. Zach, that's totally awesome. Dawn Yarndall and Jerry are so generous and kind. Yes, they are. Let's see. Dawn, would you and Jerry mad? Both happy mail. That's really sweet, Zach. Can new soap be made with what's left of other soap bars? Years ago, I heard someone say they could. Just asking your opinion. Um, Depends on what you mean by can it be made with what's left of other bars. Because you absolutely could say if you order a bunch of handmade soaps, right? Let me put that up there. Say you order a bunch of handmade soaps and you use them and you get a bunch of little soaps left, uh, remnant soaps or something, and you save all of those. You could technically cut those up like into little blocks or however you wanted to do it, and then when you mix up a new batch of soap, you could add those in at the end and stir them in and use those to bulk up the amount of soap that you had, and it would make it kind of like a party or confetti soap. I do something similar to that in my soap making. A lot of times I make what are like I call them everyone's invited bars, but it's really just confetti soaps, not with used soap. I don't make those with used soap, but I'm just saying you could do that. What I do is I take and my end cuts whenever I cut batches of soap to cut the bars out. There'll be like end pieces left, that are like sliver pieces, yay thick or something that it can't be a full bar of soap because it's too thin. But I will take those and I save all of them. And then after I get so many built up, I take and I dice them up into like little chunks. Not always perfect squares or cubes, but I kind of make it fun and do little triangles and squares, and I get a whole collection of those, and it'll just be a mix of all the soaps I've made. So there'll be like clove soap, there'll be, you know, bay rum, there'll be goat's milk, there's oatmeal and honey and all the soaps, right? So I just take and I put those into a like a general soap base that I mix up and make. And whenever I stir that up, and then when you cut it, you get this really cool like confetti effect. So you'll see like the cubes of different colors and the little details, and it just makes it really kind of fun. So yeah, you can absolutely do that. Now, if you're talking about if you can like melt it down and do all that, I think that would really depend. You could probably do it if it was like glycerin soap, maybe, or something. But I would just like take and like cut that up and do like a confetti type soap. I think it's how you approach the blanket. I made 3 of them last month and just started another a couple days ago. That's so cool. I didn't know that's how you put the things on the screen. Okay. Well, alrighty. Yes, stitching. Because if you don't point them out, 90+% of the people will not notice them. Renan said each cross of the yarn is a kiss, each loop of the yarn is a hug. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's made with love. I really like that. That's cute. Hi, Joseph. Everyone, just wanted to leave my thumbprint. It's after midnight here, so I'm going to go to bed. Good night, Sugar. I'm sure you've been gone for a bit, but good night all the same. Consider your mistakes as your trademark. That's cute. I like that. That they're talking about the history of Jack Links. Oh, showing the whole process of making it. See, a lot of times I can't watch shows like that because I'm really weird about some foods anyway. So seeing like the behind the scenes process of how some things are made will completely put me off of eating in the future. So I have to be really careful with watching that kind of thing. I started crochet when I was 6 and I just turned 74. Taking breaks in it sometimes. I crocheted about 50 beanies last month. Wow, 50 beanies. Holy smokes. That's a lot. I have made one beanie ever, but granted I've only been crocheting for a few months. So I've been trying to kind of like find the items that it is that I really like to make. So I've only made one beanie so far. It didn't take long though. It worked up really quick. It was a bag a day pattern. I don't remember which one, but it was bag a day. Let's see. Oh, good night, Zach. If you're already gone, I'm sorry I missed you. You don't get locked out of your YouTube. It just delays the payment. Oh, okay. Well, I don't care about that. Okay, I thought when I heard that it meant like you get put like in timeout, like you couldn't do anything. I was like, oh, I was like, no, I was like, no. I was like, because I like the highlight of my day every day is being on here, interacting with all of you, sharing things and learning things and chatting. And a lot of times now, like whenever I have free time and I'm not doing anything, I'm even in some like StreamYard calls, private calls with some of my friends that I've made on here, because you make those bonds and connections, and you chat and you talk about everything, and you work through stitches together, and it's just it's my favorite thing. So if it like temporarily locked me out of that, that would be so horrible. But yeah, if it's just the payment part, I don't care about that. Woo-de-doo. Okay, so that takes a little stress off of me. Oh my goodness, I was really I was really worried. But okay, if it's just that, yeah, no, that's no biggie. You know, is the friends I've gained. Yes, same, absolutely same. Good early morning, everyone. Hello, Sandy. Hello, hello. Maureen, you, Maureen, your amigurumis are really inspiring me to make amigurumis. Oh, speaking of Dawn and Jerry, I was looking. I was sitting at my computer desk a little bit ago, and I was looking through the Imkin book, and I've written down. I chose a body, and I chose um, all the options that I want to use to try to make my first amigurumi Imkin. Uh, it's not really my first amigurumi ever because I don't have it with it, but I did make a little jellyfish keychain. It's like this big. Um, but I wrote down all of the ones that I want to try to do to make my first Imkin. Um, I don't know when I'll start that, but I did write down what I want to make. So that was kind of exciting. Um, oh, good night, Ola Joe. If that was you saying you were going. Say a little bit. Yes, a little bit of everything. Yeah. And honestly, those soaps, those bars, the confetti bars, my everyone's invited bars, are my favorite ones to use personally. Like, so a lot of times when I make a batch of that, half of that batch is for the house. So I will put it in our cabinet that's soaps for here, and and then I will have the other half of the batch that's available, you know, for other people, just because that's my favorite one. Um, so yeah, I really enjoy those confetti bars. Oh, good night, Michael. If you are headed out, thank you for stopping in, talking with us, being here. Sorry, felt that way. Yeah. Oh wait, did I miss? I used to get responses from a channel, but now they have so many members that I don't get my question. Oh, yeah. And I try to be understanding, especially with the really big channels or the ones that have grown so much. The amount, like the volume of stuff that they get, and I know it has to be staggering because even at my small size channel, at like 1,400 plus subscribers, I get a lot emails. I get, you know, comments all day long on videos, new and old. I get, you know, messages through Facebook. I get, you know, requests, people wanting me to, you know, come on lives or whatever it is. Like we receive so much, and so I can't even imagine what somebody say like Juan, who now has over 30,000 people, or imagine like Bag a Day, Crystal, like the volume of things that she has to receive, like messages, comments. There would be no way for them to see and interact with all of it. So I try to be really understanding with that. But it does hurt if you are somebody who you were there with these people, you know, early on, and you know you had that interaction and that closeness developed in those early days, and then you know now they're not able to really interact with you because the size of things. And I'm really sorry like that, but definitely there's so many of us out here, and all of us would love to talk with you and share with you and have you be involved and be a part of what we do. So absolutely, I agree with Dawn. Um, but yeah, let's see. Scrolling, because I know I'm behind. I don't know how far behind, but I don't know if you're speaking, but I'm sure any number of people would answer the question. Yeah, there you go. See, there. I'm new, but if there's a question or a tip or something that I can share, or whatever it is, I am always more than willing to do that. Um, I just want to share all of that which I have been given. So, all the knowledge, all the tips, all the things. If there's something I can help somebody who maybe doesn't know about something or has a question about something, that is very much a passion of mine. I want to be able to offer those answers to the people. Um, so, yeah. And I know everybody else here is the same way. Um, Self-striping yarns, ombres, etc. I always get motivated to get the next color. Um, yes, that helps me as well. Color changes and also just stitch variation, row to row, and even variation within the same row. So if it's, putting windows in, but doing like sporadic windows, and then, like the next row up doing like drop stitches to fill those windows, just little things like that to kind of fill and keep things interesting. My friends here in Texas ask me why I make so many hats, and I tell them I have so many grandkids in Illinois who will need them. And you know what? Even if you didn't, and you just really like making hats, there's so many great things and causes out there where you can donate hats and, um, any kind of hat, like sun hats, sock hats, toboggans, whatever you want to call them, anything like that. Um, there's people on here who make all kinds of those things just to donate them, because we all have those things that we enjoy making. If you're a blanket maker and you pretty much so soon make blankets, I that's awesome. If you're somebody who you only make bags or you only make wash rags or pot holders or whatever it is, like that is that's awesome. And there's always somebody out there who needs those things. So, whether you're selling them or you're donating them, we like making what we like making, you know? And that's important to remember. Never feel like what you're making or what you like making is somehow less than what anybody else is doing. Everything that all of us make and that all of us do is equally as important and equally as beautiful and valid as anything else that anybody else is doing. Like, I see people question themselves all the time, and it just hurts my heart because I know how amazing all of us are and what we're all capable of doing. And we're all always our own worst enemies, right? So, it's hard to remember sometimes not to judge ourselves too harshly or think that what we're doing is less than. And I struggle with that. I struggle with that a lot. No matter how many compliments and all the stuff that people tell me on here, it's we still beat ourselves up, but it's important to at least try to remember that not to do that as often. Make one beanie a night. Wow. Let's see. I learned to crochet watching YouTube. I wanted to make baby booties for my niece, and it was so easy to learn. Yes, and and that's another thing. If you're looking, if you are new, or even if you're not new, if you've been crocheting for years, but there's something that you see that you would like to try, if the first person or two that you see a tutorial from, if it's just not clicking, just keep watching creators, because there's endless tutorials on any project you're wanting to do, and you will eventually encounter the right video to explain it to you in a way that makes sense and that clicks. So don't give up if the first one or two times you see the explanation, it just doesn't hang with you. Keep watching, keep looking, and you will find the tutorial, even if it's just, it eventually clicks through repetition of seeing like so many people do it. And maybe you'll be able to patch together from all the different videos a way that you can do it that makes sense to you, that's like a hybrid of all of those methods. I've done that on many things. um, so never get discouraged, never give up. There's always a way. Let's see. Good night to everyone. Good night, old Joe. No reason to be sorry at all, Dawn. You guys have those marathon lives, and I've been on here for an hour and a half. It doesn't even feel like I've been on here half an hour. Holy smokes! Like, um, so yeah, no. I hope what you had to eat was good, though. I had, well, I did have a cup of coffee. I left it in the den, so now it's cold and alone in the den. um, let's see. Good night, Sandy. Good night, good night. If you're already gone, I'm sorry I missed you leaving. I almost, well, I've started it, Dawn. Um, I'm not working on it yet, but I did take the time to go through the book and find the pieces that I wanted to assemble for my little Imkin. It's the cap for it is the little round button mushroom cap, so, and I thought that if I make him, it would be such a good little friend for the one that you're making for me, so that he won't ever be lonely. He'll have a little buddy, and I thought that was such a cute idea. They'll be little mushroom buddies. Um, will get in your blood for sure. I hope. I really do, because I love Imkins and just the cute little amigurumis, like the books, Maureen, that you were showing in your little Ami video, where you were talking to your amigurumis and stuff. Like, the stuff in those books are super cute. I need to get more of these books. So I will definitely be looking into that. And I know online there's all kinds of tutorials where I don't have to have the books, but they were just so cute. So I may get with you and we'll chat in a stream or something coming up, and get some recommendations from you on books and patterns and things. Um, let's see. That's awesome. Get Imkining. Oh, I've had the book several months. Still have to get on one. Oh, you haven't made one yet? I thought you had, Jerry. I didn't know. I thought you had. I guess you've just been busy with some bunnies and other things, right? Let's see. Scrolling. Oh, has a cold, so he's coughing lots, so I'm going back to my bedroom. Oh, well, I hope he gets better soon, Zach. That's no fun. Having a cold is just awful. Yes, and Moth, if you type that in my chat, whichever side that this side, if you type Moth in the chat, it will drop your link so that people can go and show you some love and give you a little click on the subscribe button. Keep things rolling around for everybody. Uh, let's see. Everybody greeting everybody. Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Welcome in. Glad you're here. I figured all you lot would be just passed out, exhausted after all of the last couple days of lives and stuff. You guys have been smashing it. It's been fun because I enjoy when there's lives up to watch it. It just helps me fill my evenings. Let's see. Yeah, isn't it that Raven yarn? It's so pretty. If she would have had minis in it available, and I know she'll have some minis coming up before long because she has a bunch of yarn coming in and orders and things. Um, so I would definitely be interested in that. And I did buy the what is that desert painted desert or whatever, those minis tonight. I'm excited about those. That will be my first Dawn Aaron yarn, and it's going to go on. I'm not going to use my hand dyed minis. Those are going on dowel rods, and I'm going to have layers of dowel rods behind my, and that will be my backdrop on my lives. So I've started them already. I have one dowel rod up, and it has 5 little minis on it. So I have a long way to go to make it like cover the wall, but I think that's going to look so cool. Like I in my head, I'm envisioning it, and I really like the idea. So that's what I'm doing with my minis. My dog. Thanks for asking. Okay, trying to get rid of migraine. Oh no. I hope that gets better soon. I know migraines are horrible. I've only ever had one, like, full-on migraine in my life, and it was back years ago. I was a third key at GameStop, and my head had kind of hurt when I woke up that morning, and I felt a little off. But I went in, and I had been at work for like 45 minutes or an hour, and it just got so bad. Like, I felt like if I opened my eyes, that my head might explode, and I felt nauseous, and it was just the most horrid feeling. And my manager, he was there, and he looked at me because I was sitting on like a bucket behind the counter, because we had a little, like, a bucket back there where we could sit and like sort through the games when somebody bought like a used game or whatever. And I was sitting there, and I was just holding my head, and I guess my color was even off. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I kind of was explaining to him what was going on. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "You got a migraine." And I'm like, "Oh my God." It's like, I thought I was dying. Like, it was so horrible. And so ever since that day, like, anytime someone mentions it, I really feel for them, because it's just, until you've had one, like a full-on migraine, just, it's almost impossible to understand what it feels like. So my heart goes out to you, and I hope that gets better soon. Sorry if that was all too much and I rambled there, but trying to keep everyone's alive is like a full-time job, isn't it? But I love it. I love it. And even if I miss some lives, I try to go back and at least watch sections of it on the replay, just to give the support and stuff, and all the things. So you'll need to hit the like button. Oh, thank you. Yes, that would mean a lot to me. Thumbs are free, and they make the wheels go round and round on this YouTube bus. Guys, thank you very much for that. I want to make all the things. Yes, same. That's me. I question myself and doubt myself a lot. It happens, you know. And I am very far behind in the chat. If it is just now to that point, wow, that was my realization marker of how far behind I am. Sorry, guys, that I'm so far behind. My favorite hats to make are bucket hats, but I live in the deep south. We don't need much protection from the cold. Well, if you enjoy making it, hey, that's what matters, right? I try. I really do. And you know, when I was younger, I was an impatient person, and I was expectant in ways, and I felt like not always the nicest or most understanding person. But life happens to people, and I have really made a shift in my 30s that I strive to be a more patient, a kinder, gentler, more understanding human, because we all deal with so much on a daily basis that nobody wants to have that be made worse by somebody who is not kind or compassionate. And so I just try to be to others what I would like them to be to me. And even when they're not that way to me, I still try to understand that maybe they're coming from a place of pain, or they're coming from, and they don't know any other way, or they're lashing out, and it's maybe not even anything that's my fault. And maybe they just, even if they're not in a great mood, maybe I still need to be understanding and try to be kind and nice, and I don't know. It is what it is, I guess, Let's see. I'm probably going to have to frog the blanket. I'm planning on making a lot, but that's learning. Yes, absolutely. And, you know, that's the important way to look at it. It's always a learning process, and we get better each and every time. Uh, oh, Mishi popped in. Glad she was here. Got your card today. Got a good smelling box today, Joseph. Oh, you got the soaps. Box 1, I think, right? Because you had the 2 boxes. So I'm glad that made it in. I hope you really enjoyed the soaps. I'm very glad that made it to you. Anything you want to learn? Find a technique that works for you. Yes, find what works for you. That no need to do that. That's why I'll be doing video chat to reach you. You don't frog mistakes. Yeah, and make it unique. Joseph, have you ever been a motivational speaker? You would be good at that too. No. No. Number one, I don't do well in front of large groups. On here, it's different because like in here, I just feel like I'm chatting with like a few really good friends, and we're all here in this room. It's almost like you're, over on my couch or you're in the chair next to me. Like it just feels natural. But if I'm in front of a big group of people, I have a really hard time with that. I freeze up and I stumble over what I say a lot. And really, until this YouTube adventure, I never really had people respond so well to just listening to me and seeming to be so impacted in a positive way by the things I say and the way I say them. I've never thought of myself as any kind of motivational or an inspiration. I've done a lot in my life. It's like um, I've messed up a lot, not as much as some, but yeah. So thinking of myself as like somebody that's like motivational speaker, that doesn't click in my head at all. But thank you for that. Sorry. Let's see. Love that idea they took. It's been a long week. Going to bed. Love and hugs to all. Yes. And I'm so sorry. I'm sure I missed you in the chat. I'm so far behind. I think Top Hat, my bunny, completed Imkin. Yeah. Okay. Yay. Dawn Aaron dropped her link. I have loads of Ami books and so many more on my Amazon wish list. My hubby is going to shoot me. Well, it's always good to have those things, even if it's just a wish list that you make, that you have it for like if you have a birthday or for Christmas coming up, and you give that out like to family, because people always ask like, oh well, what do you need or what would you like? I just think that's so much handier than having to like on the spot think of something. Where if you have a list prepared, you could just be like, oh, I'll text you, and you can like see what's on there. And even if they don't want to order something from there, they can always get that from somewhere else so that you can't know that it's coming. But it's just handy to have something like that. Another link. I've had my book for some months. So far, made Imkin legs. That's it. Oh my goodness, Mishi. Let's see. Mishi, I made the dinosaur in the book you recommended, and I'm really patterns well. I'm going to try the unicorn next. I'm happy you're here, Mishi. Yes, I love that Mishi's here. I'm gonna make that blanket, Dawn Aaron, and I'm gonna be confident while I do it. Yes. So I can hear that. I love that book. There we go, Maureen. It worked that time. I noticed the first time for some reason it didn't drop it for you. Please and keep going all night dying. I believe. You just seem like you're a person who just has that boundless sort of energy, and especially when you're pumped and amped about something, that you could probably just keep steamrolling through, and you could have you have like yarn hanging everywhere in your house, and just your husband wake up the next morning and he's like, what is all this? Painted Desert. Yes, that. After also Tony Bosch said Joseph will open it Sunday. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Just a happy supporter. You know, and that's great, and we love that you are. We love having you here. Moon Rose dropping her link. Hello and all. Sorry, half asleep. Sorry, Mishi. My handwriting is horrible in the card I sent you. I'm sorry, mine's bad in the card too, because there is a card in both of your boxes, and you would not be able to tell that I have been like pretty substantially trained in calligraphy and um, uh, writing in general. My writing is such a mess now. But if I take the time with it and actually get out my calligraphy pens and stuff, I can do beautiful work. I just, I don't. So glad to check YouTube. Hey, Joseph and everyone. Hey, Zoila. Welcome, welcome. I'm sure you've been here a while. I don't even know how far back that was. I got your awesome prizes day solstice from Mishi's. Oh, awesome. Hugs Mishi. We'll be working on yours tomorrow. Sorry, guys. I'm doing some scrolling, trying to catch up a bit. Oh, that's rough. Sorry about that. That is... She really does. Yes, she does. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Let's get this chat moving. I'm so far behind. I'm so sorry, guys. Crocheting so hard to type. All. I'm gonna hop off. Need to be up by 7. Good night. Good night. Good night. Donate. Place like Warm Up America. They take certain sized blocks and put them together. Helps me feel better to do something for someone else. Yes, that's why I am in Rotary. Doing things for others. It's important. Do all the good, important work that you can. Support everybody that you can in whatever way you can. Yes. 1,000,000% yes. Want to try Tunisian. That's my brain every time I try to go to sleep. There's always something, my brain's like, oh, I really need to look that up. I should watch a video on that. Oh, I should learn how to read patterns. Hey, look at some patterns. Like, my brain is an interesting place. I guess a lot of us are that way, but they say that's the creative mind, right? Let's see. Yeah, and that was a lesson that I had to learn. You can't live in regrets because you can never go and change the past. The past is set in stone and it is what it is. But you can control your future and the direction that you go in. And even if it's just small guiding directive action, right? So those little things like giving a smile to somebody in passing, right? Instead of scowling and looking like you hate the world, It's just little small things that build all these positive movements. And, if you start out in anything trying to go full force into it, you're going to hit a wall and you're going to get discouraged and you're going to feel overwhelmed and you're not going to be able to do it. But, setting your life on a positive track and a better track to do better things for yourself, for others, it starts small little changes, you know. Um, just work at it, you know. And 10 years ago, if you'd have told me that sitting right here today, that not only was I doing all this YouTube stuff, but I was incoming president of a Rotary Club. I'm chairman of a Recreation and Tourism Commission, an official city entity working with city government, and all of these things, that I was a homeowner, that I was, all this stuff. If you would have told me that 10 years ago, I would have laughed in your face and said that you were full of beans and you didn't know what you were talking about. But now here I am, sitting here today, and all of this stuff, and I look around at my life, and I'm very thankful and I'm proud to be where I'm at. And I think that's an important step, is finding a way to look at yourself and believe in yourself. I guess that was kind of motivationally, wasn't it? But yeah, it's, just can't dwell on regrets and things. We've all got them. We have to keep going. Videos, your voice soothes me and helps me feel calm. You are welcome. I think my partner would probably disagree with you. I don't think he finds my voice calming. I'm not tough to deal with. I'm not, but I, yes, Moth to drop your link. Sorry, I know I'm still probably way behind. Listening to you going to sleep, closing my eyes, everyone be good, stay safe. Love you too, Mishi. Plan on sleeping 8 hours. Yeah, I don't know what that. Yep, same, Landa. Is it Landa or is it Yanda? Because it's double L. I don't ever know. Stay safe. Lots of love to you, sister. Yes, vacation. That's all. Thank you, Zoila. Thank you. Be glad to get 6. Yeah, I usually get between 4 and 6, typically. Let's see. Dawn Aaron loading Hands Creations. Amazing to see Crochet your cat. Wasn't it? I was so excited for her. That was so awesome. She deserves it. She deserves all the love and attention. She's so talented and so humble in it, and I feel like that's so important. Yeah, I was just super excited for her. That's awesome. Because she's been doing so much to help everybody else, and she doesn't focus on herself. And so having that outside attention come in and get recognized for that kind of thing, that was awesome. There you go. Let's see. Sorry, still scrolling. I'm trying. I don't know how long the chat is. Let's see. I also find your voice calming. Well, thank you. I was honestly surprised. I didn't even know until I was told I'm alive while dying yarn. And I could tell you were in shock. And I don't know if some tears happened, but I love that for you. I think that was really incredible. Oh, I'm caught up. It's exciting. So yeah, I don't know. It's been awesome. I didn't expect whenever I got on here tonight, because it was late. And I was just going to do those few stitches on those granny squares and just talk for a few minutes if anybody came in. And I figured some people would come in, but I didn't know that as many would come in as what they did. Right, Zoila? Woo! So yeah, I am just I just want to express again how I am just thoroughly enjoying every bit of this community and the interaction and the love and support, not just towards me, but the love and support and all of the positivity that I see going out to all of us. You know, you guys make people's day every day, whether you realize it or not. You do. You touch lives and you leave lasting impacts through your positivity and the love and stuff that you share, and also the knowledge that you share, showing people all this incredible stuff. Um, it's just thank you guys for that. And, you know, it's not really my place to thank you for all that you do for everybody else, but I am thankful for it. And I love seeing that because we have to be the change we want to see in the world, right? And if in our little corner of the world here on the Yarny YouTube streets, we can be as positive, as helpful, and supportive as we can, then maybe that will in some way feed into the world in other ways, you know? Because you make somebody's day on here and you make them feel better about who they are and what they've done. Maybe they'll be able to walk away from, you know, seeing those positive things and go out into the world and touch somebody else with positivity and kindness and light. And it's just a ripple effect. And I love that we do that. And it's super incredible that we do that day in and day out. And I always say, if you see anybody on your front, you know, your main page of YouTube that you don't recognize the name, but it's somebody in this community and somebody, you know, trying to get a start, whether they're knit or crochet or mixed media or whatever it is that they're doing, go and show them love and positivity. Subscribe, give them likes, leave them a nice, happy little comment. Even if you don't really have a question or anything about what it is they're talking about or doing, just leave them something telling them like you hope they're having a blessed day. And it makes the difference, guys. I know it does because I get that. You know, and I know all of you get that too. Like, so just go and keep rolling it out. I try every day. I follow new people. I sub to new people. I click their links. I like videos and I try to leave comments when I can. I wish there was two of me because then that would be much easier that I could spread myself out. Exactly, Zoilo. We do. It's so important. Like, so much out there can be so negative and weigh us down. Like, and I know in all areas of life there are people who struggle with it. But I know especially right here on these YouTube streets, all of us in here, you know, there's so many of us that struggle from anxiety. You know, there's people who battle depression, there's people who battle pain. That, you know, maybe a little bit of kindness, yes, it's not going to take away their pain, but maybe it can put a smile on their face for a minute. And isn't that worth something? I think it's worth everything. You know? So, sorry, not meaning to preach and have a soapbox, but it's just it's so good to give the light, guys, and keep that rolling forward. And I know you do. I don't have to tell you to do it because I see you guys do it all day, every day. And it's such a blessing, and it makes my heart just beat all the faster, which means a lot because I have a chronically low heart rate. So usually my resting heart rate, for anybody who knows standard heart rates and what they should be, my standard resting heart rate is in the 40s. So very low. So yeah, all the extra beats I can get are you know, needed. I'm glad you feel motivated. Just keep rolling it out there. Be positive. Be happy. Be blessed. I love you guys, and you spending these 2 hours with me has meant the world. as it does every time. And I just thank you. That's all I can say. But I will let you go. I know it is late, and I still need to shower and do all the things myself. And I will see you guys again next time. You're the best. I love you. Stay positive. Stay crafty. Thank you again.